Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving headfirst into the world of tattoos. It's this incredible mix of ancient tradition, modern art, and honestly, some seriously fascinating science. So let's get right into it. This quote just hits the nail on the head. A tattoo is art, cultural heritage, and a life story. It's so true, right? They're way more than just pretty pictures on your skin. They can be about where you come from, what you believe in, basically, the story of you.
But, and this is a big but, it's also a public health matter. I mean, let's be real, getting a tattoo is a procedure. We're talking needles, ink, a permanent change to your body. So that brings up a really important question. What is actually happening under your skin when you get inked?
Okay, so here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with some history, ancient ink, modern meanings. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty science of what's happening under the skin. From there, we'll talk about tattooing smart and safe. And finally, we'll wrap up with the risks and considerations. Pretty straightforward. All right, first up, ancient ink, modern meanings. Tattoos aren't some new trend. They've been a part of human culture for literally thousands of years. But what's really cool is how much their meaning has changed over all that time. So check out this contrast between then and now. Back in the day, tattoos were all about the group. They were about identity, power, belonging. Take the Lao Feng Dam in ancient Siam and Laos. Those tattoos told you exactly who a person was and what group they belonged to. Fast forward to today, and it's almost the complete opposite, isn't it? Now it's this amazing blend of art, fashion, and a way to tell your own personal story. So why do we get ink today? Well, the reasons are all over the map. For a lot of us, it's about self-identity, claiming who you are. Or maybe it's to remember a huge moment in your life. For some, it's a test of endurance or even a way to feel part of a new tribe. And of course, sometimes you just love the art. And hey, let's not forget the occasional impulsive decision. We've all heard those stories. And it's not always about storytelling or fashion either. Tattoos can be super practical. Think about things like permanent makeup for someone with severe allergies, or using ink to cover up scars. It can be a really powerful way for people to reclaim their bodies after an accident or surgery. Okay, so we've covered the why behind tattoos. Now, let's get into the science. This is the really cool part. What is the biological secret that makes a tattoo permanent? How does a drawing on your skin literally last a lifetime?
So here's the definition. A tattoo is a permanent mark made by putting ink into the skin's second layer, the dermis. See, the whole secret isn't on the surface. The needle has to go past that top layer of skin, the epidermis, which sheds all the time, and get the ink down into the dermis. That's the magic spot. That's what makes it stick around.
Okay, let's walk through what your body does. As soon as that needle deposits ink into your dermis, your body's immune system just freaks out. It's like, alert, alert, foreign invader. So it sends in the cavalry, these special immune cells called macrophages. Their job is to gobble up anything that shouldn't be there. They swarm the ink particles and try to digest them, but they can't. The ink particles are just too big. So what happens? The macrophages just get stuck there, holding onto the ink forever. They're permanently trapped in your dermis, which is why you can see the tattoo. It's basically this amazing, permanent standoff between your immune system and the ink. So yeah, meet the macrophage. It's the real MVP of your tattoo. I love this analogy. They're like tiny security guards for your body. They see the ink, they decide it's a threat, and they just lock it down. And they are so good at their job that the ink stays put forever. It's kind of wild to think about, right? Every single tattoo is basically a microscopic art gallery held in place by your very own immune cells. All right, so we've got the science down. Now we need to switch gears and talk about something just as important, safety. Because at the end of the day, no matter how beautiful the art is, getting a tattoo is a procedure. It's creating a wound. And this is maybe the most important thing to understand. The tattoo process creates thousands, literally thousands of tiny wounds in your skin. And anytime you have an open wound, there's a risk of infection. That's why hygiene isn't just important, it is everything. It is absolutely non-negotiable. Any good professional artist knows this and takes it incredibly seriously. This is the responsibility. We're talking meticulous sterilization of their equipment, using a brand new single-use needle for every single person, keeping their studio completely clean, and getting rid of used materials the right way. They have to follow the law. But hey, it's not just on the artist. You, as the client, have a checklist too. You've got to do your research. Look up the studio, read reviews, see if the artist has certifications. When you go for a consultation, just look around. Does the place feel clean? And, this is a big one, make sure you see them open a fresh, sealed needle package right in front of you. Don't be shy about asking questions about aftercare either.
Okay, that brings us to our final section, risks and considerations. Look, tattoos are amazing, but we have to be honest, they aren't for everyone. So who should maybe think twice?
So let's just ask it straight up. Is getting a tattoo a safe choice for everyone? The short answer is no. For most healthy people, if you go to a clean, professional place, the risks are low. But for some folks, the risks are just higher.
There are some definite contraindications to be aware of. For instance, if you have certain skin conditions or a compromised immune system, or maybe a bleeding disorder, you really need to be careful. Same goes for anyone who's pregnant or breastfeeding. And of course, a huge one is allergies. If you know you're allergic to certain ink pigments, that's a definite no-go.
Look, complications can range from something minor all the way to really serious adverse effects. The bottom line is this: if you have any pre-existing conditions or even just a question in the back of your mind, please talk to your doctor first. That's your first step, not calling the tattoo studio. Your health has to be priority number one.
So we've really come full circle, haven't we? From those ancient traditions to the modern science we just talked about, a tattoo really is this permanent intersection of art, biology, and personal responsibility. It's the art you choose, the biology of your own body making it permanent, and the responsibility you have to keep it safe.
The ink is permanent. The question is your knowledge? Hopefully now it is. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.